wasn't nearly as strong as me.
Buddy, you think you look strong? You're wearing a cape.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 villains of 2022.
But I'm not in someone else's story. You're all in mine.
For this list, we're looking at fictional baddies across film and television that garnered feelings of fear, rage, and occasionally even sympathy. We're focusing on villains who debuted in 2022, as well as ones that were reimagined and recast. Since some of these are surprise villains, here is your spoiler alert. Who's your favorite villain of 2022? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Lord Larys Strong, House of the Dragon. Like Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon is full of characters who toy with our emotions. In an instant, you can go from empathizing with them to despising them, and vice versa.
If it's I want to balance the scales, I am your servant.
At first glance, Larys Strong might seem like this show's Tyrion Lannister, a wise advisor who rises above what some consider a disadvantage. Clubfoot instead has more in common with the manipulative Littlefinger, planting the skepticism that drives a wedge between Rhaenyra and Alicent.
See, I thought for Melos himself, that condition must be something very serious. What happiness it is to have been wrong.
With a calm manner of speaking, Larys slithers his way into Alicent's inner circle, twisting the Queen's words. He uses this position to kill his father and older brother, furthering his own ambitions.
I did not wish for this.
I feel certain you will reward me when the time is right.
As is often the case, it's those we underestimate who emerge as the greatest threat. Number 9. Jean Jacket, Nope. Jordan Peele's Nope could just as easily be called Jaws meets Close Encounters. In the spirit of those Steven Spielberg classics, Nope keeps its central creature literally clouded in mystery. When we do finally see what's been pulling people and horses into the air, it looks like a traditional UFO. Peele throws in a twist that makes Nope and its villain one of a kind, however. The flying saucer isn't a flying saucer. It's a living entity that preys upon smaller beings, digesting them from the heavens above like a bloody rainfall. What initially seems to be made of cold metal takes on a silky fabric-like aesthetic. That might not sound as intimidating, but like a jellyfish, Jean Jacket proves that appearances can be deceiving. Number 8. Scarlet Witch, aka Wanda Maximoff, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. One could argue that Wanda was the true villain in WandaVision, but we think she was an anti-hero at most. In Multiverse of Madness, Wanda fully breaks bad.
You have exhausted my patience. But I do hope you understand that even now, what's about to happen, this is me being reasonable.
This was a startling surprise, as the trailers seem to be setting up a redemption arc for her. Doctor Strange quickly realizes that Wanda isn't on his side, and will stop at nothing to see her boys again.
I have children of my own. I understand your pain.
Is their mother still alive?
Yes.
Good. There will be someone left to raise them.
Whether you call it grief or love persevering, it fuels Wanda's madness as she resorts to mass murder and creates a disturbance in the multiverse. It was bold for the MCU to take a character who's been mostly heroic up until this point and present her in such a villainous light, with Elizabeth Olsen turning in a terrifying portrayal.
I would never hurt anyone. I'm not a monster.
Number 7. Harmony Cobell, Severance.
Welcome to Lumen, Helly.
Patricia Arquette has played a few characters who seem warm on the surface, but there's something darker underneath. With this Emmy-nominated performance, Arquette shapes another two-faced character, but with a few twists.
Your friends are gonna suffer. Mark will suffer. You'll be long gone, but we will keep them alive in pain.
We're first introduced to Harmony Cobell, a calculating, no-nonsense boss from hell, determined to keep her employees under her thumb. As imposing as Cobell is in the office, we see just how manipulative she can be outside of work, posing as the kindly Mrs. Selvig.
Good night, Mrs. Selvig.
Mark? You're good people.
Due to the company's severance program, Adam Scott's Mark doesn't realize that his boss and neighbor are one and the same. Although Cobell seems to hold all the cards, she can't foresee everything. When things don't go according to plan, we see Cobell at her most unnerving.
What is it we actually do here?
We serve here, you child!
Number 6, Namor, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Who are you?
My enemies call me Namor.
Like Thanos, Ultron, and Killmonger, Namor is a villain who sees himself as the hero. And to an extent, we can understand why. After all, the CIA and SEALs invaded his territory in pursuit of vibranium. Even if the US government had known about Talokan, that probably wouldn't have stopped them.
Only the most broken people can be great leaders.
Namor wants to protect his people, but he takes matters too far. Pinning the blame on Riri Williams, Namor pursues what he considers justice. He's willing to destroy anyone and anything that stands in his way, including Wakanda.
Wakanda will fall.
With the demeanor of a god, Namor leaves little room for negotiation or compassion until the Black Panther shows him some. Namor proves himself honorable, but that doesn't mean world domination isn't still on his mind. Number 5, the Riddler, aka Edward Nashton, the Batman. Modern Batman movies have reimagined many classic villains, not only making them grittier, but more believable. Paul Dano's Riddler feels like an evil entity who could exist in the real world, echoing the Zodiac Killer.
I hope you're listening, Bruce Wayne. This is your legacy, too. And Gotham needs you to answer for the sins of your father.
The Batman avoids simply turning Riddler into a Joker clone, however. Riddler also wants to watch the world burn, or we guess sink, but his actions are backed by a carefully calculated political agenda.
It can be cruel, poetic, or blind, but when it's denied, it's violence you may find.
Wait. Can you repeat that? Cruel, poetic?
Justice.
Huh?
The answer's justice.
His trademark riddles translate well into a more grounded environment, using bombs on those who don't have the right answers. When Riddler is finally unmasked and apprehended, he doesn't become any less threatening. Even Batman doesn't seem safe separated by bulletproof glass, which is a testament to Dano's creepy screen presence that gets under your skin.
What's black and blue and dead all over?
Number 4, Soldier Boy, aka Ben, the Boys. Sometimes to defeat a monster, you need to enlist another monster. Of course, this approach can backfire in a number of ways.
All those years that they burned me, and that they pumped me full of poison, I held on to the hope that you would come.
Betrayed by his allies, Soldier Boy goes on a revenge spree upon resurfacing. Our heroes try using this to their advantage in bringing down Homelander, but Soldier Boy might prove even more destructive than his offspring.
You're just a cheap knockoff.
Oh, no.
I'm the upgrade.
While cut from the same cloth, Soldier Boy lacks the need for admiration that Homelander longs for, meeting his son's plea for acceptance with disdain.
Maybe if I'd raised you, I could have made you better.
Jensen Ackles brings humor to Soldier Boy's stone-faced demeanor, hitting just the right note as a character from another time who should have stayed in the past. He's nostalgia at its deadliest.
I didn't mean to hurt those people. I'm not a bad guy.
But that won't happen again. Right?
Only if they got it coming.
Never meet your heroes. They may turn out to be villains. Number 3, Jobu Tupaki, Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Hey, Becky.
Can you go help my dad with the party?
Now?
Yeah.
At its core, this year's definitive sleeper hit is about a mother and daughter's path to reconciliation. Sometimes to mend bonds, though, you need to reach across the multiverse. As Joy Wong aspires to gain her mother's acceptance, Evelyn collides with the Alphaverse version of her daughter Jobu Tapaki.
The universe is so much bigger than you realize.
As charismatic as she is forceful, the Great Evil initially feels like the only character who's in complete control of her surroundings. As we delve deeper, we find that she's just as lost as everyone else.
I was just looking for someone who could see what I see. Feel what I feel.
Stephanie Hsu delivers an arresting performance, shifting between her multiple personas while finding the common ground. For a film that juggles so many complicated ideas, the resolution may seem simple, but love can be the most complex phenomenon of all.
Might not go somewhere where your daughter is more than just this.
Number 2, Pearl, X and Pearl. Pearl is a villain who crept up on us in more ways than one in 2022. Making her first appearance in X, Pearl is an old lady longing for youth. She takes out her bitterness on a group of young visitors, including Mia Goth's Max.
I think I know who you really are. I saw what you did in the barn.
In one of the film's best-kept secrets, it turns out Goth had a dual role, hiding under all that makeup as Pearl. In another surprise, we were treated to a prequel 6 months later, with Goth returning as a young Pearl with big dreams.
I don't want to end up like Mom, or I want to be dancing up on the screen like the pretty girls in the pictures. I want what they have so badly. To be perfect. To be loved from as many people as possible to make up for all my time spent suffering.
The dirty 70s aesthetic is traded for a Technicolor nightmare as Pearl's pursuit of fame leads to jealousy, rejection, and homicide. Pearl sees herself as Dorothy, but she's truly a wicked witch. Hide your scarecrows.
I'm married!
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Steve or Brendan, Fresh. A devilish and delicious performance from Sebastian Stan.
Becoming one with somebody else forever. And that's a beautiful thing. That's surrender. That's love.
The Predator, Prey. You haven't been this intimidating since 1987. The Grabber, The Black Phone. The premise is supernatural, but this villain feels eerily real.
I was down here once when it rang. Ooh, creepiest damn thing.
Queen Gudrun, The Northman. Nicole Kidman makes you feel unclean as a Shakespearean villain.
Even now you believe the fairy tale I told you is true. A noble bride hailing from the land of Brittany. I never began as his bride.
Sully, Bones and All. Mark Rylance is unsettling as an eccentric cannibal.
Just always thought.
You just thought some people are creepy. It's better if we all steer clear of one another.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Vecna, aka Henry Creel, Stranger Things.
Don't cry, Chrissy. It's time for your suffering to end.
Stranger Things didn't introduce Vecna until season 4, but it feels like he's been a mainstay of the show from the beginning. It's as if the show had been building towards Vecna all this time without the audience realizing it.
I want you to join me.
When Vecna finally reveals himself, he makes all the enemies that Hawkins faced before seem like amateur hour. Even after Vecna makes his grotesque presence known, he remains an enemy hiding in plain sight, influencing our heroes in ways they don't know. Whether concealed under prosthetics or taking on a human form, Jamie Campbell Bower makes your skin crawl in the role.
Seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, years, decades, each life, a faded, lesser copy of the one before. Wake up, eat, work, sleep, reproduce, and die.
He may send you running for or up that hill, but an enemy who gets inside your head is hard to fend off.
You're not really here.
Oh, but I am. Max. I am.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.